the heat off. It's hot here.
You're hot?
Yes.
Okay, you can turn the heat off. I'm not hot. I feel great, actually. I feel lovely.
Look, it's time we make a change in our communities for ourselves. We want access to clean air, clean water, good energy. We want a safe environment for our children. We want to be able to buy land and build generational wealth. We want to build the black family and keep the black family alive. You know, sometimes I feel like,
This is bad.
look, it's time to catalyze and educate. We gotta take action and fight for a climate change. I wanna see the world be clean, but have you ever really stopped and just looked at the scene? It's a global crisis. On our black lives, the world is warming up and sea levels are starting to rise. We need our generational wealth. It's time to buy back land, plant seeds, and have something to put in our future's hand. The global crisis is happening right now. Extreme weather events became more frequent, and the main people affected is the black and the indigenous. The government is crooked and devious like what? There won't be in my people to ever raise up, but in my people I trust. It's gonna come to an end, but it starts with us. It starts with us.
Peace and power, black family. Peace and power, family. Peace and power, beautiful people. You are now tuned in to another episode of a Dope Ass Green Light podcast, where we can reconnect to the planet and each other, one secret conversation at a time. I'm Sister Maria.
And I'm Brother Dave. And today we are standing in the sacred in between. In between.
Really?
Right in the middle. In between.
Wow.
Today's question is, how do we keep going when the vision seems delayed, the people feel divided, and the harvest hasn't quite come in yet? So how do we keep going?
Lord have his mercy. Well, let's look at how nature provides. What does nature do? Right?
Nature has the seasons. So, we are deep in the heart of the fall, walking towards the winter.
Yes.
And while the trees looks bare and the soil seems still, something powerful is happening beneath.
What's happening
beneath the surface?
What's happening underneath?
Right? The root systems are growing deeper. The land is recalibrating. Composting is happening. Right? What has died, so new carbon can bloom in due season.
Carbon?
Excuse me.
It's a new life, right?
So new life can bloom in due season, right?
Well, I guess carbon is life.
It is carbon.
Right?
That's the brownness
we
of
are
the leaves.
Carbon life forms.
Right? You know what I mean? So we too are composting some dreams, some disappointments, some doubts.
Yes.
And birthing something even deeper. So this, as we experiencing the change of season, right? Many of us are also experiencing the change in the seasons of our lives, in our relationships,
right?
In our marriages,
right?
In our partnerships,
right?
You know what I mean? So yes, that's all going on right now. It's a part of the cycle of life.
But I think that even though it looks bare, there's something beautiful in it. There's something beautiful in the transition. Even though it's not springtime and things coming into bloom and the beautiful colors of spring and the vitality that you feel during that season, it is still something very beautiful and something very sacred during this transition from fall into winter, and when everything looks like it's going dormant or not. Things aren't necessarily happening above ground, but so many different things are going on beneath the surface. And so it really reminds me that deliverance doesn't always come with fireworks. It doesn't always come, with the big bloom and the big show. Right. Sometimes it's just slow, internal first. Chains are falling off in the dark, before you get to swing into the light.
Right.
Right. And so sometimes we are called to walk before the way is made clear.
Mhm.
Right. And when we talk about Peter being in prison with Pastor, well, actually, Elder Lewis talked about in church on Sunday, and he talked about Peter being in prison and how the angel came to him and said, "Get up quickly," and the chains fell off his hands. He's like, boy, and that's for us too. Boy,
Right,
girl,
right.
man, child.
That's right.
Get up, beloved, right? Even if the chains are still falling, get dressed, strap your sandals, and walk.
Come on.
Right. And so I was inspired by that particular um passage. I was inspired, and I wrote a spoken word piece, and I'll share it in our I Am Green Facebook group. But it really brought to mind, like, what in the world do we do in the in between?
That's interesting because the minister said something to the brothers on Monday night. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He said each of us are required to discover God in ourselves.
Hmm.
Then we have to discover the gift that God has put in every living creature.
Right.
Right. So we have to discover our gifts. Right. And we have to understand and discover, what has been put into us, right? But then respect the other gifts of the others around us too.
The connection,
Right,
right?
right,
That brings us all together. Because sometimes when we have to discover these gifts, that really is a sacred in between. Like, that really is an internal job. That really is some deep down, what you see on the surface is absolutely not happening, or is not doesn't match up
right,
to what's happening underneath. Like, what you see above ground does not match what is happening below ground. And so I think that discovering your gifts requires a lot of cultivating. It requires a lot of excavating.
soul searching.
It
Right.
requires a lot of deep internal shifts
Mhm.
and crumbling and falling and resurrecting, that you may not necessarily it may not necessarily show up in the physical world.
Right.
Or it may look different, or we may not understand what we're seeing in the physical world, but it's definitely something major going on in the spiritual realm. And so that's why the minister often tells us we can't judge a book by its cover. We can't judge a person because we don't have a comprehensive knowledge.
Right, right.
We don't understand that the unseen is always greater than the seen.
Mhm.
And so let's just let life keep lifing,
Right.
because
Right.
the truth always comes out, right?
The truth always comes out. Right, right. And we can't be afraid when we're in that process of discovering ourselves.
Yes.
If we discover things about ourselves that we don't necessarily like,
Right.
or things that just, you like, wow, where did this come from? You know what I mean? Why am I feeling like this towards this opportunity or this situation or this individual? You know what I'm saying? So we really got to do. That's what
that Leviathan.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's
that
where
the
creature.
self-improvement comes in.
Right.
That's where the self-improvement comes in. That's where the self analysis come in. You know what I mean?
I think we're afraid of being messy, though. I think we're afraid of being judged. And I think that we're afraid of it not being pretty. And I always liken that to an embryo. Like, we love our babies through and through. And we want to kiss them, we want to hug them, we want to squeeze them. But baby, that embryo wasn't cute, right? That little thing. Oh, please don't go to Isaiah. Lord, may God be pleased with his soul. Don't you talk about Isaiah and that sperm on the couch. I don't ever want to hear that story again. But the point is, right, is that it's not always pretty. And look, somebody was on some show. Was it with Charlie Kirk? And they were like, "You believe that this is a baby?" And then it was a dolphin or something, right? It was
a dolphin fetus.
But it was a dolphin fetus, right? And Charlie Kirk was like, "Yes, yes, I believe that is his baby, that is sacred." He was like, "This is a dolphin fetus," right? But either way, it ain't the cutest thing in the world. Is the point? It's not that bouncing baby boy or that bouncing baby girl that we hold and we love and we cherish in its inception. But we have to let it grow.
Right.
We have to let it evolve. we have to let it get to that beautiful, you know, part that we want to smell the feet and do all the scrumptious things. But it doesn't always, you know, look like that from the beginning. And that is how our evolution generally works. It ain't always pretty. And we have to be okay with knowing that it doesn't have to be.
Right. Right.
And unafraid of punitive and punishment and all the things that come with, you know, this Western ideology. So yeah.
Yeah. So this week, right, we're not rushing the process.
Right.
Right. We're honoring the in between.
Yes.
This is where community building gets real, right? Where faith becomes muscle. Where our mission at the Grove gets its roots.
Yes.
Right. Because this is where we at. We're always, you're always in transition.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So we're always in transition. We're either going, coming. You know what I mean? So it's never like, you know, people getting on the bus, off the bus, in the car, out the car. You know what I mean? So this is what this is life. This is life, right? And we are on a journey according to our tradition. According to our tradition, we're on a journey back to our Creator.
Right. Which is perfection, right? And so we have to build the infrastructure, right, in order to do that. And a lot of the infrastructure or some of the tools that we use in order to get the things that we need, you know, prayer, study, communicating, connecting,
right,
getting our hands in some soil, getting out some soil between our toes, like staying connected with one another, touching each other and reaching out to each other and helping each other. And don't. So it's just like we have to use the tools that have been afforded to us to make that evolution. Absolutely. Right. And sometimes, like, you know, we were, some circumstances have to arise in order for us to really see who we are, because a lot of us are delusional about who we are. And as soon as something scratches the surface and doesn't go our way, our true self shows up. And so we walk around like we have it all together, and then when things start falling apart, that is when we learn that who we really are. Right. So Brother Abdul, is that his name?
Abdul Haq, yes.
I was listening to one
student minister Abdul Haq.
I was listening to one of his lectures, and he was like, the God knows who we are, but it's the God in us is what needs to be equated, right?
That's right.
And so that divine spark, right? And so a lot of times, like we talk about all the different people, and I talk about it in the spoken word piece, all the different prophets and all the different people in the Bible who were in that in between, that sacred in between, where we know God's promise is true, but it don't feel like it. It don't feel like somebody even lying, right?
So that's interesting because when we read the story of Abraham, like, yeah, God, I know, but I just want to let the people know.
Right. Come on now. Right. Come on. Don't leave me out here hanging like this. Right. So that's one of the reasons why with our plot twist and produce club, right? And recently we changed our plot twist and produce club to a plot twist and produce hub, because it's not just about branding, but it really is about infrastructure. Right. It really is about the vision and how we have to play it big. Like we can't play it small, right? Club is too small. We need more than just a circle of readers. We need more than just a circle of growers, givers, and guardians of the land and each other. This is about food. This is about family. This is about future. This is about sovereignty. Right. This is about independence, being self-sufficient. Self in the word meaning plural, not as an individual. The other definition of self, right? And so when we hear and when we talk about a hub, like that's a place where people gather. Right. That's a place where resources are. That's a place where inspiration along with instruction. Right. Because we get a lot of inspiration, but where's the instruction and where's the blueprint that goes along with that inspiration so that we can show up for ourselves every day.
That's mostly what people. That's what a lot of people receive. We receive a lot of information, right, about doing this, doing that, right. And I think that's why they came up with this so-called funnel, right?
Right.
So that they funnel. The funnel is to get you interested. So the information is to get you motivated, interested, and to get you pumped up, right? About the whole situation, about the whole scenario,
Right.
about the whole outcome, right? But then the how-to part,
The instruction.
the instruction part,
Right.
right? Because everybody doesn't learn the same way.
Right.
And if you think that if you're a teacher or a preacher or any type of instructor, right? If you don't take into consideration the different learning styles of your students,
Good luck out there.
right? Half may get it, right? But the other half won't.
Right.
And then people feel cheated. It's like, man, I wasted all my time listening to this, and I still don't know what the hell to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everybody, you go online now, everybody. Listen, I made $1 million last night.
Oh,
all you gotta do is go to Canva.
It's not last night.
all you gotta do is go to Canva and make a calendar, a book, and then you can sell it.
But
right, boom, you can make it. Man, I'm like, man, this is crazy,
right?
So,
right.
So it's the same way when we go to places, right? So when you hear us say plot twists, right? Know that what we mean.
Right.
We're rewriting the narrative.
Right.
Right. We're creating spaces where ancestral wisdom meets innovation.
Right.
Right. We are preparing to expand the growth. Our community, our cooperative, our capacity to feed the house and the hill.
Right.
Right. We're making a sacred space.
Right.
Right. And we're not trying to it's a sacred space, but it's what we call it's holistic.
Right.
It's a holistic
approach
journey to what we're trying to do.
Yes.
Right. We're not just trying to just separate ourselves from everybody and be over it. No, that ain't what we're trying to do.
No.
Right. That's not how you live. You can't live separated.
Right. We are made to be together.
That's right.
We are born into families, not pods. And so that means that we have a symbiotic relationship with one another, and that the connection, and what Dave and I talk about often is the recurring theme of why we fail and not necessarily fail forward is because we're disconnected.
Come on.
We have to connect. That is the way to pool your resources, to find a group of like-minded individuals and make the connection. We have brilliant people with brilliant ideas, innovative ideas, but without the connection, it gets lost in the void.
Right.
Right. And so it is very important that if we are in the hallway of our own deliverance, right?
Come on.
And we're waiting on clarity, waiting on provision, on community, we don't wait idle. Right. The angel said, put your clothes on. The angel said, put on that cloak, put on them sandals and walk.
It told Peter
right?
When Peter was in the
That's
prison.
right. That's what he told Peter. It ain't just sit here and let me carry you out. No, it ain't. I'm not going to carry you out. You're going to get up, put your clothes on, put your sandals on, put on the cloak, and we're going to walk this thing out, right? And so we have to get up and walk. We have to start something. We have to tend to our inner soil. Our collective healing starts with small, sacred actions. Plant something, even if it's just an intention. Even if you're just saying to yourself, you know what, I'm going to get on that bike every day. And I'm going to just go for a ride. Or I'm going to get on that bike Monday or Friday. And I'm going to go for a ride. Reach out to someone. Even if it's just a voice note. That's Me and my sisters were leaving each other voice notes. They were hysterical, right? Because one of my sisters, Salima, always got to go too far. Like, go too far is her middle name. And so it's like, don't give her a voice note. Don't give her a phone and take away all electronics. But it is the way that we stay connected, right? It is the way that we let each other know that we love you. I'm thinking about you and you matter.
Come on.
Let go of the dead leaves so your roots can deepen.
That's right.
Whatever is not serving us, let it go, right? Let it go. But the operative, right, is to get connected.
Right. That's the operative. Stay connected. Right.
Right.
We want to be part of the movement.
Right. Right.
We just don't want to be. It's not a moment. This is an actual movement.
Right.
Right. And it's a movement. And the thing is,
the
movement is taking place all around us.
Right.
Right. People are moving and in transition all around us.
Yep.
Right. You yourself is in transition.
Yep.
Right? You yourself is in transition. You're moving. Right? Your family is moving. Your relationship is
Change.
moving.
I don't know what
Right?
that book was. Was it the parable of the sower?
Which book?
I think it was the parable of the sower. But at the end of the day, it really was. I can't remember which one it was. But in this book, she was like, change is God. The only God is change. Right? And so if you believe in change, you was the
Okay.
religion. The world was in an upheaval and people were acting savage and everything had collapsed and society had collapsed and people were trying to find their way back to the middle, and she was trying to prove that the only religion was change, the only God was change. And so, and we know that, and we're taught that transition is always vulnerable, transition is always dangerous.
People
And
transition. That's like in reality when you're driving, when
right,
you're flying,
right,
right. Now when you're on the scootering, right? You call it the thing,
not
scootering.
scootering.
I mean, any type of
Right.
transition, you are in a vulnerable situation.
Yep.
Motorcyclist,
Yep.
you know what I mean? So you have to be careful.
But in
You have to be
vulnerability
aware
is
too,
our
though.
strength.
Right.
And the
You have to
biggest,
be aware of.
but the biggest danger is ourselves. Though our own minds. Our own minds are the things that get in the way.
Because a lot of times we're not in present time.
Right.
With the argument we just had.
Right.
We thinking about what we gotta do.
Yeah.
What we gotta.
Because I done got home. I don't know how I got home. I'm like, what streets did I pass? Lord Jesus, fix it all. I'm sorry out there, y'all, because I don't know how I got here.
Some of it's muscle memory. Some of it's muscle memory, right?